Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'll be talking about ESPN putting an article out that predicted the New York Jets would have the #1 overall pick. Before we get started today, I just want to mention you can follow me on social media, Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast, wherever it is that you get your podcast. And you can also subscribe to the Just Jets Clips channel. Link in the description for that below. Oh, ESPN, they love getting their clicks. They love riling up Jets fans. Why? Because it works. Jets fans are extremely passionate, and they know they're going to get a reaction when they do something like this. So the New York Jets, according to this ESPN article that's behind the paywall, they are projected to get the #1 overall pick, which I just don't buy. Last year, they were 2-14. The New York Jets were, with Adam Gase and Sam Darnold at the helm. Now, Adam Gase was a bottom 3 head coach in football the last 2 years. Sam Darnold last year was a bottom 3 quarterback in the league, and they being the Jets, significantly improved at both of those key positions. Robert Saleh is going to be a better head coach than Adam Gase. We've seen signs of that already with how he's been running things and changing the culture already. I understand he hasn't stepped on the field yet, hasn't made a head coaching decision yet. He might not even be a good head coach, but we know he is going to be, at minimum, better than Adam Gase, because that would be hard to match or do worse than that. And on top of that, I don't think Zach Wilson's going to perform at the level that Sam Darnold did last year in terms of that bar. I think he's going to be better, actually. That was a weird way of me wording it, but I think he's going to be better than what Sam was last year. Sam was really not good. He struggled with a bad offensive line that the Jets improved in the draft, and with the lack of weapons, which the Jets improved in free agency and the draft. They went out and got Corey Davis, who is a solid starting outside receiver. Is he a #1? Maybe not, but is he a really good #2 to just, a solid starter? Yeah, the Jets have a lot of guys who could be solid starting receivers. Look at their depth chart at the receiver board. Corey Davis, Denzel Mims, Jamison Crowder, Elijah Moore, Keelan Cole. They're 5 deep at wide receiver. 5. That's going to be fine. And you would imagine Chris Herndon's going to take a step forward. At least I do. I think he's going to be better outside of Adam Gase. So just in itself there, I don't think they're going to be 2-14 or 2-15, I guess, at this point, or worse. Because, look at what it takes to get a #1 overall pick. Last year, the Jags got it at 1-15. Then the Bengals the year before at 2-14. Cardinals 3 years ago at 3-13. They're the best record in the last 5 years with the #1 overall pick. Browns at 0-16. And then Browns again at 1-15. Those are the last 5 years of first-round picks, and the best one is a 3-win team. I think the Jets are a lot better than a 3-win team. Maybe they hit 6, 7, 8. I think that's probably the window you're looking at. And if that's the case, you're probably picking between somewhere of 8 and 13, somewhere in that range probably, depending on what the record is. If it's 8, maybe you're picking maybe 14 or higher. It's a little weird now at this point because, the 17-game season. So I think this is a 7-10, 8-9, somewhere in there team. So to say that they would be a first overall pick candidate, I think they are going to be worse than Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Houston, Vegas, Detroit, maybe Chicago, Philadelphia. Those are 7 teams off the top of my head who I think are going to have a worse record than the New York Jets. And maybe there's, some surprise teams either way. But the moral of the story is this. There's no way the Jets are getting the #1 overall pick. I don't think they'll be picking in the top 5. If they do, they're in serious trouble, because that means that, 1, Robert Saleh struggled in his first year as a head coach, and 2, Zach Wilson significantly struggled. So I understand, sure, their cornerback situation isn't great. They're going to lose games because their cornerbacks aren't great. That's inevitable. But this isn't a team that's going to finish between 0 and 3 wins. I just don't see it. Maybe you could tell me at worst case scenario 5. If you tell me they're a 5-win team, they're going to be 5-12, I would probably disagree with that, but I think that's probably their floor, where their ceiling is maybe 9 if things break right. So I think that's the range you're looking at. I don't think there's a 1-16 team, an 0-17 team, or whatever it is that's going to, Houston, dumpster fire. Jacksonville, have Trevor Lawrence, but dumpster fire. I don't think the Jets are a dumpster fire. If they still had Adam Gase, they still had Sam Darnold, they didn't draft Elijah Moore, they didn't draft Elijah Vera Tucker, Michael Carter, all those guys, then yeah, different conversation. Absolutely, it's a different conversation, but that's not the case. This is 2021. They're not going to be like the 2020 Jets. They're going to take a step in the right direction. So I call BS on this article. Do not like it. So let me know what you think. Sound off in the comments or on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new, subscribe. I'll talk to you next time.